Hey, so my neck's been really bad since yesterday. I don't know if I had like a bad dream and I tensed up or whatever. Like, I was using the computer like about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, and just holding my head steady. Like, I damaged my anterior longitudinal ligament. Like, exercise doesn't bother it, but it seems like whenever I do something where I like hold a ligament or a tendon, it degenerates. So like if I move my arm like this, I could do that all day. But if I like flex my arm and just like hold it in a flex position, like my tendon just and the ligaments just fall apart like instantly. Like they really start to burn. That's everywhere in my body, like my elbows, knees, anywhere. And when I'm trying to use the computer, I gotta like hold my head still because it's always like bobbling all around. And because otherwise I can't like read what I'm trying to read. And so I, flex the muscles in my neck to hold it still, but then I get that problem with the burning and the tendons and ligaments in my neck, and they degenerate, and I cause the problem with that anterior longitudinal ligament. And yeah, and I'm not 100% sure it's that ligament, but it's like a vertical ligament that's in front, like forward this way of my. Like I know where my alar ligament is because I had alar problems for a long time, and I regularly felt burning in it. And then after I had stem cell injections, it stopped burning and just feels fine. But like this is in front of that, and it's a vertical strip about as long as my finger around C1, and there's only one vertical ligament in front of your C1, C2, and a little bit higher vertebrae, and that's the anterior longitudinal ligament. So that's why I assume it is that ligament. And in addition to that, people have proprioception, so like I could close my eyes and touch my fingers together without looking at them because we can tell where our body parts are without seeing them. So there's also that. But even if I'm wrong, it's in that area and it's very likely soft tissue because all my problems are soft tissue and that's it. So I went to the ER yesterday and I got in and they just said, "What do you want me to do?" I said, "I don't know." And they just, shrugged and said, "All right, well, I can't think of anything to do. So, you know, aside from give me painkillers, um, that's it." So, I mean, they're just like, I mean, they they do try to push steroids on you. But I told them up front, I was like, I don't want any steroids. I didn't say because they're fucking stupid and damage connective tissue, and there's like a million studies that show they damage connective tissue. And basically, if you inject steroids into your knee, like several years later to the day, you're gonna be able to predict when that knee is gonna fall apart because of the damage done by the steroids. So steroids are really bad for you. Like if you have a joint problem, you do not want steroid injections. They actively hurt you. There's a lot of information, like Google search it, and you can see like case after case after case, and NIH study after NIH study, and YouTube video after YouTube video, and it's just like it's terrible. It's a terrible thing to put in your body. Damages bones. It's just not. It's a terrible thing. Like it doesn't fix the problem. It just doesn't. Um, I ask surgeons. I say like, um, is there any instances where this has actually repaired any tissue? Like, no. Like, they can't tell me one. I'm like, this doesn't, like, why? And I ask them, like, why are you guys doing this? Like, it doesn't fix problems, and it's hurting people. And they're just like, it doesn't hurt people. I'm like, no, it does. Like, you can look it up on the internet if you don't believe me. And then, Uh, and there's a lot of doctors that say it hurts people, and there's a lot of biological researchers that say it hurts people. But still, every doctor is taught in school like steroid injections are magical and fix all problems, and it's just stupid. And brought to you, paid for by the steroid companies who own the doctors. And so the but it's like I tell the doctors, I'm like, if you injected stem cells into me, it would fix my problem. You know, so if you want to cure me, that's what you would do. And they're like, we can't do that, whatever. And and I'm just like, okay, but are you doing anything? Are you like emailing the senator, congressman, state representative? Are you emailing the company that runs your doctor's office? Are you contacting other doctors and telling them? Are you trying anything? Or are you just like, well, I can't do it, someone else has to? It's like, it's one thing to say, well, like, my hands are tied. It's another thing to say, like, well, let me try to get the word out and do what I can do to make sure people understand regenerative medicine like helps people. And okay, beyond that, yeah, sure, there's nothing you can do. But they don't even do that. They don't even like, they're like, oh man, sending an email to someone. Oh, I'd rather just pretend that this person with connective tissue disease is just a pussy, or complaining too much, or hypochondriac, or doesn't act, it's all in their head, or they've just got like a genetic problem or something, and nothing can be done. And I just want them to go away so I can pretend that like the world is a Disney movie. The world is a Disney movie, la la la, clutches pearls, and it's like, so anyway, that's my experience at the doctor yesterday, and I really need help. Because the only thing that's going to help me is regenerative medicine, doing all the physical therapy I can. Haven't injured myself with the physical therapy. I just keep doing, like, I think part of it too is like, it's not so much that the computer and cell phone are bad for me, but I got hurt initially. I mean, I don't think they're good for anyone. I think they're going to cause you more neck strain than normal, especially if you use them for long hours like I was doing. But I also associate using a screen with uh, being bedbound for a year, and the severe emotional trauma worse than death, and pain and suffering worse than death, and an absolute nightmarish existence every second of every day where I want to put a gun to my head and kill myself. So like when I try to use a computer, I tense up, and so like that, like my arm tensing up, it starts to quickly degenerate the tendons and ligaments in my neck, and everything falls apart. So I can't use computers, cell phones, and stuff. I can't look at the screens very much. It's really bad. Um, and maybe over time, if I do exposure therapy where I only have pleasant experiences, where I restrict my time to like maybe 5 minutes a day, and then I have no bad experiences for a while, no strain, no issues, then maybe I can up that time to 7 minutes and 9 minutes and 11 minutes and so on. And like ease back into it where I'm not like tense all the time. Because if I'm not tense, then I don't have the problem. But the second I see a screen, I tense up, and then it's like, that's a problem. So, but the damage I have, like, I really need more regenerative therapy. Like, if I had another PICL, I wouldn't be injured now. Probably. I still obviously need to deal with the computer thing, stay away from things that injure my neck, stay away from things that cause me to tense up. But I need more help. Like, I just, I've been in bed mostly. Like, I spend probably 22 hours a day in bed. Um, Maybe 21 hours a day in bed, uh, and or like in a reclined position with head support. And I can't really do much more than that. I can't work. And if I go to the ER and I go to a neurosurgeon, like I had a neurosurgeon that just yelled at me because I called him asking for an update. He's like, I'm in surgery. don't you know I'm in surgery? Why are you calling, leaving messages? Meanwhile, I'm calling the number, like his secretary said, this is my number. Call me if you have questions. I'm like, okay. I'll call Amber if I have questions. So I call her and leave a couple. I left like two voicemail over the course of a week, saying like I'm in a lot of pain. Like, can I get an update? Like, I really need to talk to a neurosurgeon that perhaps can deal with these kinds. And at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't know if there are any neurosurgeons that are competent, like at all, um, in connective tissue disorders. Because like even like Dr. Bolognese was like, you don't have connective tissue problems, like you don't have instability, and it's like, I do. I mean, you'd have to be incredibly stupid to think that I don't. And he said that for multiple other people I've known too. And then Dr. Henderson doesn't take insurance, and I called and asked like, how do people pay for this? And they're like, oh, like take out a mortgage on their house. I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's like $50,000, and so it's like fusion options. It's just, and the doctor and the neurosurgeons are just like, well, I can't see it on an MRI, so I can't get it past the insurance model, because they'll say, well, I don't see a problem. Why are you charging me 50 grand for 100 grand for a procedure? And then and on top of that, like, I got to deal with the attitude. Like, doctors think they're like literal gods, and like if you say anything to the contrary, like they hate you. If you're a problem they can't figure out, that really hurts their ego, and they hate you and they demonize you. And it's like, it sounds like I'm being hyperbolic. It sounds like, oh, I'm just making that up, like they can't be that bad. And it's like, um, well, they are. Like, that's, I mean, I just got chewed out by a doctor for leaving him. He's like, how dare you? Like, I'm in surgery. And I'm just like, I said to him calmly, I was, well, I was calling for an update. And he's like, well, that's not how it works. Like, they have to go, like, they have to check your insurance, and then they'll get back to you, and you have to wait and be, and they'll get back to you. And I'm just like, but, so I'm not allowed to know who you referred me to, or I can't contact them on my own. I'm not allowed to call them at all. And he's like, no. And I was like, okay, well, good luck on your surgery. I sincerely meant it. I was like, good luck on your surgery, right? Because I mean, neurosurgeons have a hard time. I mean, they deal with people that are in very serious conditions. So I wish them luck on their surgeries. And he was like, exactly. And I'm just like, okay, like, I feel like I'm dealing with like a 5-year-old, like, good boy, no, 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 like, you're good, it's okay, just deep breaths. Like, I'm having to like talk my doctors down from like, it's okay, you're a special boy, you're a very special boy, and you matter more than anyone else. Yes, you're the best. And it's like, that's what I feel like I have to talk to doctors like, because they just can't handle it emotionally. Like, and on top of that, so I have to deal with that, and then I have to deal with like I go to like I went to see Dr. Jariga up in Cleveland, and he's a regenerative therapy doctor, and he's asking me what to do. He's sincerely, he's just asking me what to do. And Dr. Shekgiri, who I saw, who was chewing me out, when I saw him, he also was asking me what I should have him do. Like, he genuinely wanted to know what treatment I wanted. And then the nurse I saw in the hospital, in the ER, asked me like what I wanted him to do. And I'm just, all these people, I'm like, um no, like, I pay you money, you figure out the problem, right? Like, I don't go to the car mechanic and then give him my car, and then if he starts asking me like, what do you want me to do, I'm going to say, I want you to fix the problem, whatever that noise is, or the car shaking, whatever, just fix that. And if they say, well, how do you want me to do that, I'm going to say, okay, I'm gonna take my car keys back and go find another mechanic. Like, I'm not, but when I go see medical professionals, they're like, they're asking me what to do, and at the same time copying an attitude with me like, who the fuck do you think you are? And I'm just like, dude, I don't want to fucking tell you what to do. I just want you to fix my fucking problem. I don't want to know more about this than you. Unfortunately, I do. But like, me knowing more about a subject than a doctor is like heresy, and like, how dare you? And it's just like, look, I'm just answering the questions you're asking. I'm not, because they'll be like, what have you tried? And I'll be like, well, or like, what's going on? I'm like, I got pain in my anterior longitudinal ligament area here around C1. Um, Regenerative therapy is an option, but I can't afford that. And I don't know if there's any surgical options available. Physical therapy doesn't seem to be helping, and so on and so forth. And they're like, and then they just start to get really intimidated and butthurt. I'm just like, what do you want? Like, I fucking just answered your question. Like, I'm not, like, I think of me personally. I think of me being the doctor working together on a problem, and then they're like, how dare you? I'm just like, and I've met people, young people who are doctors to be, and everyone just constantly tells them, they're like, this Joe's gonna be a doctor, he's gonna be a doctor, oh my god, he's gonna be a doctor, he's gonna be a doctor, oh, he's doctor, doctor, doctor. Every day of their lives they get told, doctor, you're amazing, doctor, oh, you're so, and my son's a doctor, he's so smart, he's a doctor, doctor, doctor. And it's just like, and it just fucking goes to their heads. It just fucking ruins them. Their egos get so fucking inflated. Like, if I had a kid and he wanted to be a doctor, I'd be like, look, you're not fucking special because you want to be a doctor, all right? You know better than anyone else. Okay, and if I ever see you acting like you're hot shit because you're a doctor, I'm gonna fucking smack you. Okay? If you do good work, you're allowed to be proud, but you're not just automatically better because you're a doctor. Anybody can go pay to work for 9 years. Paying someone else to work doesn't mean you're special. You know, mean going to school. Um, it People at Wendy's probably work harder than most doctors. So you're not fucking special. Shut the fuck up. And the reason I'm harsh like that is because look at what happens when their egos get fucking out of control. Like, they can't, they have no bedside manner. They can't remain objective. They can't problem solve. They can't help their patients. Like, their patients are deeply suffering. They're not open to new ideas that would greatly help their patients. The medical community is slow to adopt new ideas and things that would greatly help people because of the doctors' egos can't handle the fact that they're wrong. So medical progress happens when doctors fucking die. That's when medical progress happens, because it's the people in charge die, because they're so sick. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be like, the doctor should be like, oh, something can help my patients better, like, even if it means it's a better way than what I've been doing for 30 years, great. Okay, then we're not going to do what I was doing anymore. We're going to do the new way because it helps people. That's how it should be. But they're like, their egos prevent that from happening. So, you know. So, anyways, long story short, I need more help with money because I can't work because of all this bullshit. So, I want to, God help me, I want to, but I mean, I rode my bike for a little bit this morning and I walked around for a little bit, and I'm like, I'm dizzy, I got vertigo, I can barely look down. Like, there's no way. I can't look at a computer screen. I can't do anything. Like, after this, I'm just gonna rest the rest of the day. I can't do anything. I'm done. That's it. So, like, I just can't. I want to. God help me, I want to. I would literally clean toilets for a living if I could physically do so. I would literally clean human shit all day if I could, but I can't. And my lawyers do not seem interested in trying to help me at all. They're just like dragging their feet, and um, they don't seem to be interested in trying to understand. They're like, oh, you have an unusual problem that's gonna like require me to like think a little bit. Well, fuck that. Like, I'm not gonna do an investigation. I'm not gonna, like, they don't give a fuck. They're just like, what's the least amount of work I can do? And if you don't like get disability, they don't give a fuck. They're rolling in money. Disability lawyers are fucking, making money hand over fist. Like they make so much fucking money. They don't care if I'm a difficult patient. I can go fucking die in a hole. They don't care. They do not give a fuck. Like the people that work the front desk don't give a fuck. The lawyers don't give a fuck. They just do not give a fuck. Um, and I mean, I had a lawyer, a secretary from a lawyer yesterday, getting like super like annoyed with me because she was like, "What's the decision that the judge made?" And I'm just like, "Oh, they just said I'm fine. I don't have any problems." And she was like, "What decision did the judge make?" And I'm just like, "What?" She said I was fine. Like I don't have any problem. Like, what do you want me to say? Like I don't understand. And she's like, "Well, what was the ruling?" And I'm just like, these people cannot tolerate like the slightest bit of inconvenience. I'm just like, I don't know what the fucking terminology is for the court case. Like, I don't know, like denied, approved. Like, I'm like, well, okay, denied. She denied my disability. I'm just, is that what you want me to say? Like, oh, the audacity of these fucking assholes, like to treat me like this. And it's like I'm not, and I get treated that way by the doctors, I get treated that way by the nurses, all the medical people, my family, makes fun of me, puts me down, like, oh, my neck hurts, oh, I can't do stuff, oh. Like, oh, you think you're smart, you know more than the doctors, oh, look at you, you don't have any money, look at you think you're so smart. Like, that's literally what the fuck they say to me. It's what the fuck they say. And I already want to fucking put a gun to my head and fucking kill myself every day. And they're like, well, this is how I'm going to talk to this person who's dying. So it's like, that's how I get treated. And the only thing that's going to help me is regenerative medicine, which I can't fucking afford. So, I mean, if I go get euthanized today, I'm there. Like, fuck everybody. Fuck you all. Like, I'm out. Like, I'd be like, I'm out. Peace. I'm not dealing with this dumb shit anymore. Like you all don't give a fuck. I mean like I don't mean like other people who are experiencing this problem and who have been supportive of me. Like I just mean like most people, like my family and the doctors and shit. Like it's just like I'm just tired of it, you know. So yeah, thanks.